So the Bible has been misused. Don't be cheated. Let's not be nice to each other because we are Christians. It has been used to support slavery.
So let's listen to what Prof had to say about religion. Because like I have said it before, religion in Africa hasn't been to the benefit of the people. But before I give you my own opinion about religion in Africa, listen to what Prof had to say.
The Bible is now the greatest instrument in creating false industries in the continent of Africa. And that is not to be celebrated. It is to be frowned upon. And we who claim to be Christians, and I normally use this very deliberately, we claim to be Christians. As to whether we are is another debate. We'll only discover that a little later when we are in heaven. And therefore, when we talk about rediscovering, we are saying that it was once discovered. But let us situate the Bible in its proper place. Christianity as we know it today in the continent of Africa was midwifed to us in the continent through Europe, through the missionaries. When they came, they were reading the very same Bible that we are reading today. When they sat in Berlin and were dividing the continent of Africa, they were reading the same Bible that we are reading today. The same Bible in which, in Paul's letter to the Galatians at chapter 3:28, he says, there are no Jews, no Gentiles, no slave, no free, no woman, no man. They read that verse. It was not interpolated later after they came. They read it. But they came here and conquered us. They came here and discriminated against us. The same Bible. They were being mentored by that very same Bible. They came here when they had divided the body of Christ. The English had appropriated the religion in 1534, and they now had their Anglican church, complete with the monarch as its head. The Scots had appropriated their own, and they had the Presbyterian church. The Greeks had their Greek Orthodox. The Armenians, the Armenian Orthodox. The Roman Catholics were even bolder. They called it the Roman Catholic Church. So that even when they are in Uganda, it's not Ugandan Catholic Church, it is the Roman Catholic Church. And you are going there and you are saying you are Roman Catholic Church. In apartheid South Africa, they are the Dutch Reformed Church, which became the foundation stone upon which apartheid was articulated in 1948 by Hendrik Verwoerd and his cohorts. So the Bible has been misused. Don't be cheated. Let's not be nice to each other because we are Christians. The Bible has been misused. It has been used to support slavery. It has been used to support colonization. It has been used to pervert the truth. That is the Bible that we are saying we ought to rediscover.
Just so you know, religion in Africa is a big fraud. Yes, I have said it. It's a big fraud. Forget Yahoo Yahoo. Forget politicians. Religion is up here. It is a big, big fraud. How can you imagine that you are in a church or in a congregation where your so-called man of God, who is supposed to be your shepherd, who is supposed to lead you to where there are green grass so that you can eat, he or she is driving a luxurious car. He or she flies private jet while you can barely survive. Do not get me wrong. Like I have said it before, I am not against people's faith. I am not against people's belief. I am not against God. But what I am saying is, men of God have weaponized religion and are using it for their own selfish purpose. And religion in Africa has created a few successful people and many, many poor people. People in Africa have been brainwashed that the only way they can be successful is when they sow seed in the house of God. That the only way they can become rich, they can live a happy life, is if only they give their tithes and offerings regularly. That they should pray and they will be successful. And they have prayed for years in, years out. But you know what? They are not so successful. Why? Because the money they should have invested into building up their own businesses, they are giving it to the church. The men of God are fraud, big time fraud. You can see the way they live. You can see how many cars they have. You can see how they drive in a convoy. They are living like kings while their members are suffering. If you go to any church in Africa, those big, big ones in Nigeria, you can see that only about 10% of the entire church will be successful. 90% are of people who can barely afford anything in life. But yet still, they give tithe and offerings to their man of God to go and buy his or her private jet. Yet still, they give tithes and offering to the man of God to go build a big mansion for him or herself. Yet still, they give tithes and offering to these so-called men of God so that they can buy many, many cars that they don't even need. I thought men of God were supposed to be selfless. We're supposed to be looking out for the little guy. We're supposed to be providing to the needy and the poor. But you can see what they are doing, right? They are living big. They are building big, big buildings. While the masses are starving. While the masses are struggling. While everyone is suffering. Now, I believe people should enjoy the fruit of their labor. I believe if someone has worked so hard and has achieved so much, that person has the right to enjoy, to live lavishly. For example, company directors like Aliko Dangote, who has worked really hard, deserve to live happily. But the thing that gets me so angry about the church is that they disguise themselves into something that they are not. The image they portray is quite different from what they said they are supposed to be doing. They will come out and say that they are for the poor. They are out here to help the poor, to comfort the needy, to make sure that the worry have peace. That is what they will say. That they are there for the little guy, for the common person in the street. But they would turn around and exploit all those people they are supposed to protect. And that is where my problem is. Just come out and say it the way it is, that you are here to enrich yourself. Say it that you are like a corporation that doesn't care about the employees, that is just there to make profit. Say it. We'll understand. We have learned to live with corporations, knowing how greedy and selfish they are and how little they care about their employees. We have lived with them because we understood what they are for. But the church, the church, religion, is the biggest fraud. I am saying it again. It's the biggest fraud because they will tell you something and you will believe in them. And later on, you would find out that they are totally something else. That what they said they are not what they said. That instead of helping the poor and the needy that they promised to do, they are exploiting them. That how can one person, a man of God, who is supposed to what? Serving the people, who is supposed to practice what he is saying, who is supposed to be there to make sure that every single member of his or her congregation has eaten before he eats, will be buying more than one private jet, will be showing off. Some of them are even so good at talking about it, like they don't even care if their members get hurt with what they are saying. They will flash their worth for everyone to see. God will judge you. There is God. There is God, oh. God will judge you. So, religion in Africa, they are like the colonial masters. No good. Just there to exploit the people and make as much worth as they can make for themselves. My brothers and sisters, those of you who are religious people, who believe in your men of God, just be watchful. Just be watchful. I have no problem with your God. I have no problem with your beliefs. But just be watchful. Do not be fooled. Just be watchful. So, my brothers and sisters, what do you think about what Prof said about religion in Africa? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. So thank you very much for watching this video. And like always, see you in the next one.